Well, hello, Mrs. Metzler back here. Glad you joined us for another week. Hope everything is going well for you and your family still. Hope you're getting used to this online learning at home. So I'm just going to do 2 of the questions from the review to try to help you out and prepare for the test that we'll have next Monday and Tuesday. I wrote about it on the news section of my focus page. So in front of me now, of course, I have the problem from the review written. I have my transformation sheet. I have my unit circle. Excuse me, my unit circle. I have all my notes where I have the graphs of the parent functions. So one of those sine and cosine would have been before our spring break. The tangent, cotangent, cosecant, secant one was one I've done as a video since we've been learning online. And then another piece, if you were there one of those days right before spring break, we did a little, a little mini book of trig graphs that has all of them in it. So if you still have that with you, that might be handy to have in front of you too. So we're going to graph this entire function. And if you notice, the directions do say to list a few things. I'm going to list it all just because that's easier for me. So here we go. Let's go left to right. So my A value is 3. That means I'm vertically stretching it. Oops, there's a button on there. I didn't know that. Vertically stretching it by 3. Okay. My B is the 4th. And that means I'm going to horizontally stretch it also. Stretch by the 4th. But remember, I said this a lot in class before we left, the way you horizontally stretch or shrink a graph is by changing its period. We see we have a phase shift going on here. That pi, so we have a phase shift, and that means we are going to the right pi length. And then I see I have a D, and my D is 2. And so that just means I'm taking my graph up 2. So it's a sine graph. My one period of sine is found by the absolute value of 2 pi over b. So 2 pi over 1/4. Keep change, flip your fraction. That means my period is technically 8 pi long. And then the other thing I think I said to list in the directions was simply the amplitude. Remember, that just tells you about the height of your graph. And so this amplitude is, remember, your just absolute value of your A. So my amplitude would be 3. So there, I listed everything my graph is going to do. And since the directions did not tell me I have to list any parent graphs, I'm not going to do it. So let's see here, as steady as I can be. Sorry, I don't know how to use a ruler yet on this thing. Maybe I'll get there. Oh, there's ruler. Should we try it now? Oh, no. Okay. And we'll go a little farther. Something like this. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. So let's be smart. We know we need our period to be out here at 8 pi to begin with. Okay. So I'm just going to make my graph 8 pi to start. And I'm just counting these so I know I get things kind of equal for our eyes and our visualness. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that works. So we'll make this guy 8 pi. Remember, we need 4 equal increments. So half of 8 pi, 4 pi, 2 pi. And then we're counting by that, so this would end up being 6 pi. All right. And then we'll just make each of these 1. Will we have enough? 1, 2, 3. No, we won't. So we'll just go 1 up. I'm cheating. I'm looking at my notebook to help make sure we get it on there. So let's make each of these 1, because we got to go all the way up to 5, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, that'll work. So this is just 1, and then this is just 1. Okay. All right, so I'm going to start off my graph. Remember, when you have lots of stuff going on, you do it left to right. Okay. So I'm just going to start the first one. and just do my vertical stretch by 3. I don't like trying to do it all at once. That's hard for me, and it might be hard for you, so I'm going to show it to you in steps. If you can go to the final product, that's not a problem. So my vertical stretch means normally sine starts at 0. 0 times 3 is 3. So I move to there. And so now this is my next increment. Remember, only 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What I marked, not all the tick marks. Next sine is at 1, right? So 1 times... what did I do? Uh-oh, pause. Okay, I made a mistake. That's okay. It was tiny. 0 times 3 is not 3, guys. So, when I erase that point, good thing I caught it quickly. Sorry. Sine starts at 0. So 0 times 3 is 0. The point stays here. The next point of sine is at 1 usually. So 1 times 3 puts us up here at 3. Okay. And then my next sine piece is back at 0. 0 times 3. My next sine is usually at -1. So it's going to be down here at -3. And then the last one is still here at 0. So all I've done so far is just vertically stretch it. Okay. So vertically stretch it in the black. The next piece, let's see, I'm going to change this. Let's see how I can, where's the color? Okay. Next we'll do red. All right. So the next piece we're going to do is, how do I get that off? Okay, so then the next piece we're going to do, remember, left to right. So horizontal stretch. Remember, a horizontal stretch is done by changing the period. We already did that. So then the next piece we're going to do is shift our graph to the right pi units. Oh, kind of nice. Look, what did I count my graph by? I didn't even realize that. So look, this length is pi, this length is pi. All my tick marks, every 2 blue squares is pi for me. So I'm going to do my phase shift in purple. So this point will just move over pi. This point will move over pi, and so on. Each point is just moving over pi values. Whoops, so I need another one out here. So it'll be out here. Sorry. Let's go back real fast and make that out black. So we're still out here. Come on. Okay. All right. So I shifted everything pi over. So now my graph is here. What do I got left to do? Oh, I can just go up 2, right? Correct. Final. Yes. Let's pick another color. And then easy enough, we'll make this one, blue might be hard to see. We'll go green. Okay, so then we're going to go up 2 as our last piece. We moved it over pi. Now we just move each point up 2. So here, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And there's the final graph of that function. Make sure I did it right this time. 2, then up at 5, then 2, -1. Yep, perfect. Okay. All right, if you got questions, pause it, rewind, go slower, something. Next one. Next one I picked to do, I was trying to do a little different ones that I thought, excuse me, you guys might think of as challenging. Sorry if I didn't pick the one you wanted. I picked number 14. So we got an A again. Oh, and it just happens to be 3 again. Just a coincidence. Sorry. I probably would have picked a different one if I'd realized that before. Vertically stretching. And we only got then a phase shift of pi over 4. And remember it says plus pi over 4. So that means, since that's greater than 0, that it's going to the left. And then it said define amplitude is still 3. And then secant is buddies with cosine. So its period goes from 0 to 2 pi. And since there's no number in here, our period would remain just that 2 pi. All right. All right. So let's get our graph on there. Dun, dun, dun. Try make that go. Nope. Nope. Okay. I'll just tap up here. I don't want to ruin the screen. And we gotta go over a little bit for this one. I'm cheating to make sure I draw it nice for you guys. I'm cheating, meaning I'm looking at my notes that are done. All right, we have a standard period of 2 pi. Again, I'm just gonna mark them off for their equal. It bothers my eyes when it's not the same. I know. It's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, that's not good. So we'll go one more, 8. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we don't have to shift anything. Our period is still 2 pi. And then halfway would be pi. What, pi over 2? And I don't know. It's okay. We don't have to mark them all. So all we got to do first is vertically stretch it. I think we can, we'll still go by count by ones here, make it easy. Okay. So vertically stretch your graph of secant. And a way to think of the secant graph, remember, is when you have parts, where do your standard asymptotes of secant go? If you think of it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, your standard asymptotes of secant go at 2 and 4, meaning here. And so I'm going to do this together. So 1 asymptote, those don't change. And it'd be this guy in the middle here. Okay? And then, but I am going to vertically stretch it by 3. So a normal one is at 1. And so this one would move up to 3. This guy's usually at -1, so he goes down to -3. And here, something like that. So that was vertically stretched in the red. So now we have to apply the phase shift. So we have to move this graph to the left pi over 4. This is where your unit circle is going to come in super handy. Okay? Easy enough. 0 minus pi over 4. Oh, I don't know. Okay? Well, let me mark my thing here. So this would be 1, and this would be 1. So this would be negative pi over 2. Okay? All right, so back to my question, sorry. 0 minus pi over 4. Better not be using a calculator. Okay, good. So we move over to here. And it, oh, wait, stop. Pause. We got to move the asymptotes too. We should move those first. Pi over 2 minus pi over 4. So this asymptote moves to here. You have to move those with the graph. Okay, so move that one that way. Then we'll finish this piece, sorry. Then over here, this one's at 3 pi over 2. 3 pi over 2 minus pi over 4. That doesn't really matter because this increment is pi over 4. So this asymptote would move here to the left, pi over 4. See why I'm using different colors and it's hard to see, sorry. This guy would move pi over 4, so he would just move to here. And one more, this guy, 2 pi minus pi over 4, something like 7 pi over 4 in a unit circle. Okay, but it moves to here. If you make your increments what you're having to phase shift by, it makes your life tonzo easier. All right, shoot me your questions. Let me know what else you need help with on the review. And I guess that's it. See you guys.